Hello, welcome back to Mass Effect. Let's play with Rambler. I wasn't going to record a video tonight, and then I decided, yeah, I can do a smallish one. Well, when I say smallish one, I mean probably up to an hour, but there you go. I was actually going to do an update video and give my 2 cents on the whole Channel Awesome fiasco. You know, the whole ex-producers of the channel accusing them of nasty things, and then rather than sort of saying, yeah, we did the nasty things, sorry, they've decided to defend themselves, quite rightly so, I think, and try and pick out and debunk some of the accusations, which a lot of people seem to be unhappy with and saying that's the wrongest thing to do, that's nasty, that's horrible, how dare you debunk people who are saying you were mean and nasty, when all they've got to say is just some accusations and a few screenshots of this and that, and then the people who were accused then did the same back with screenshots of their own debunking some of them. Basically, you know, at the end of the day, those people who are saying Channel Awesome have done the wrong thing, I can understand, because they're all basically looking for is an apology from them. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes at Channel Awesome. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes with the accusers. What I will say is I do think some stuff did happen. I think some of the accusations seem very credible, and the more serious ones I think are probably true. And I think in some cases with the latest response from Channel Awesome that they did dodge a few issues, if that makes sense. Or just ignored them entirely, which isn't good. If you think, yeah, well, you didn't really actually talk about this and that, why not? Why did you only focus on this point and not the others? The fact that they dodged them and omitted them isn't looking good. It doesn't mean that they, you know, that nothing happened or that they actually did anything wrong, but you know where you come from. If you omit it on purpose, you're like, yeah, you do realise there are more accusations than this. Are you going to try and debunk those as well, or are they the only ones you're going to debunk for now? You know, and all that stuff. I basically, just for the record, I love Channel Awesome in terms of I love Doug Walker and Rob Walker's work on the Nostalgia Critic. I love some partners of the Channel Awesome, such as Cinema Snob, you know, Brad Jones. I love his work. And I like Linkara. I know he's left the channel now, but even so. And speaking on that, I like a lot of the ex-producers as well of Channel Awesome. You know, I really love Spoonie's work. I still do. I really like Phalus's work. And Linkara, as I've mentioned, and you know, and Bennett the Sage. I don't know if he's still with Channel Awesome or not. I don't know, but I like his stuff on anime stuff. It's very good. And Angry Joe, while he was partnered with them as well, I don't think he is now. I think he's big and he's on his own. He's got his own thing going. But I like all of them. I like all their work. It's very good, you know. And the ones that I didn't like so much, well, I just wasn't interested, or I just didn't find their personalities as interesting. You know, well, I think the other ones did better, and were just my thing, you know. But again, that's called taste, and you know, basically liking and disliking things. I don't know why disliking things is such a crime these days, but whatever. So yeah, but in terms of the whole thing, you know, I think both sides are at fault, and I think both sides have valid points. But if you're ultimately just trying to side with the one side, then you're just looking for trouble. So I'm just sitting on the fence. But I have unsubscribed from Channel Awesome, which is a bit wrong in hindsight, because you think, well, it's innocent until proven guilty. But I will say, even with all this going on, it has tarnished my sort of liking towards Doug and Rob Walker. I really like them as producers of content, and they are very good producers of content, I think, including the ones who they work with. Very good. Doesn't mean they're nice people though, but this has kind of tarnished it a bit, and I can't help but just think, actually, yeah, that's not cool if that's true, considering how they've reacted to it as well. I will say, being a bit of a hypocrite, that yeah, I was looking for them to just admit that things have gone wrong and apologise. But at the same time, maybe nothing did bad happen. Maybe these, maybe these accusers are fabricating stuff, not all the way, 100%, but are sort of making them out more to be. But like I said, there are a few accusations in there that I do think, that's not good. That's very plausible. That's very credible. That's not cool. I won't go into details about it. If you want to know, just check out the whole debacle. There's loads of channels talking about it, lots of YouTube personalities talking about it. It's all there. Just go and have a look through it for yourself. So yeah, but I have unsubscribed from Channel Awesome, but I haven't unsubscribed from their partners, so I'm still subscribed to, say, Bennett the Sage, because I like his stuff, and Brad Jones, I like his stuff. But if they get caught into it in any way, and they've been, you know, they've done bad things, then yeah, I might tarnish it a bit as well. It's difficult to say. Basically, the whole thing's just a big tarnished pit, and it's really annoying, but it is reality, and these things go on, and it's the same for any mass-producing company or company in general. Things go wrong, mistakes are made, shady stuff happens, not always to the same level, but you know what I mean, it happens, and it's all down to how you deal with it. And yeah, I do think Channel Awesome didn't deal, if these accusations are true, they haven't dealt with it very well at all. The only thing they did admit to was bad communication, and that I believe is fair in that they've apologized. They have pretty much apologised for that. Not directly, mind you, but they have said, yeah, we got it wrong, we've made mistakes, we're learning from them. It's not really a direct apology per se, but they have acknowledged it, and I think that's fair enough. And I think really that's the crux of it, is communication, for the most part. But yeah, some of these accusations, because I did read the Google Doc that was out there as well, some of them, if they're true, even I was like, yeah, that does seem quite credible. That's not good. So yeah, it's a shame, but you know, these things happen. But at the end of the day, the content that they have produced is still good. But at the moment, yeah, I'm not watching them at the moment until it's all been sorted. And if it's all gone wrong, then oh well. It was fun while it lasted. So yeah. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to talk about it, and I did, because because I basically lie all the time. I'm a terrible liar. So anyway, to get back on track, those of you who are still watching, I have found the last keeper. He was here by the Normandy, so we shall scan him. And data collection complete, and we get some more EXP, some more monies, and that's pretty much it. Which I thought that might be the case. I didn't actually look at where he was. I legitimately found him by myself. I just walked around, did it systematically, and lo and behold, there he was. So that's that done then. Which case then, let's go to said journal. I think now we are ready to move on to the main story. Apart from the Gambler. Yeah, I don't know if I should do that one or not, the Gambler thing. I suppose I should, really, shouldn't I? I think we should just cover as much of it as possible. I mean, if I was doing a pure Paragon run, I wouldn't. Oh no, we haven't done the signal tracking yet. I don't think we've done that yet. So we've got to follow signal to the Presidium. Right, okay. Okay, so we've still got that to do. Alright, so we actually have a few. I thought we were ready to go on to the Normandy, but apparently not. We have... We have things to do. Still, that is right. So yeah, signal-wise, we're going to find the rest of that. I forgot about that. And what was the other one? My memory's terrible. The Gambler.
In breaking news,
no,
Burns of the Parliament Subcommittee
I don't.
on Human Studies has been kidnapped by.
I don't know. I could go back to it. If people are watching this and they want me to do the gambling mission, just leave a comment, and what I'll do is I'll reboot. I'll create multiple save files. I can always go back and do the mission and then catch up to where we were. So if people want me to do the gambling mission, just let me know and I will go back and do it and record it, and then I'll get back to where we were. I think that's a fair enough judgment, because at the moment I don't really want to do it. Not because it's bad or anything, it's just... Well, no, actually it is bad on a moral basis, not a gameplay basis. I'm going to leave it for now. I'm not going for a pure Paragon run per se. I just tend to play it as I like to play it, and I generally play it as a Paragon because I like to think I'm a nice person when I'm not. So if I can't be nice in real life, I can be nice in video games. It's a bit of a sad thing. So anyway, Presidium then. We're going to go to the Presidium, haven't we? So we've got to find the signal. Oh, I know where it is. It's, I believe it's where the guy is who deals with the Shadow Broker. The financial guy, Barlavon. That's him. I think the signal's there, so we need to go see him again. Find the signal.
A devoted wife and talented chef, serviceman Bhatia joined the Alliance military under the deferred education plan.
Oh, that's reference to the wife that we managed to get the body back to, the husband, hadn't we? Yeah, that's fair enough. So yeah, so while we're waiting, like I said, the Channel Awesome thing, you know, I'm just... It has tarnished my view of it, which is a shame, and it has tarnished my view of Doug and Rob Walker. It is a real shame. I mean, like I said, they produce great content, and the anniversaries they produced were fantastic, along with the content producers who joined in with it. It was a fantastic piece of work. They should be proud of that, at least. Both sides should be proud of that. But yeah, behind the scenes it wasn't all rosy. I think it's good that these issues are coming out, and if they are true, they do need to be dealt with. Even if that means, you know, fans like me, it's all tarnished. I think that's a good thing that these issues are coming out, because at the end of the day, we should strive to be the best we can. But at the same time, I think, again, it's all part of this culture whereby... You can't be forgiven for past mistakes, or everybody has to dig up things from the past, and then suddenly you are guilty of everything despite all the good work they've done, blah blah blah, and that's it, your reputation's over. That sort of thing is ridiculous. You can't go back and change the past. If we had time machines, yeah, hell yeah, but we can't. You know, I think we should just learn from them and grow from them and mature, and build on them. If you don't do that, then yeah, you're a douche. Or if you're struggling to do that and you're not getting help for it, yeah, you're a douche. Because you're just denying that you've got a problem. But yeah, it's a shame. We'll see what happens. I mean, at the end of the day, it's unless some real evidence comes to light that really is unargumentative, you know, like I don't know what the correct word is for it, but basically you just can't argue against it. That's pretty damning evidence. Let's go with that from either side. That really debunks one side or the other overall, not completely, but overall. Where he said, yeah, you can cover this and cover that and say this, say that, but this actually is enough to really make things go down. You know, that's when the decision should be made as to who should apologise or not. Really, until then, there's been evidence of certain accusations that you think, actually, yeah, that seems credible. But there's also been some evidence from Channel Awesome that they've used on their website recently to try and attack and defend themselves from certain accusations that actually also seems quite credible as well. So it's difficult to sort of go. The fact that I think what's annoyed me the most from this is everybody's really having to go at Channel Awesome, and you think, actually, if you were in Channel Awesome's position, what would you do? Would you honestly say you would admit and said you made a mistake? If you believed you did, yeah. But I honestly believe Rob and Doug Walker and Mike Shard haven't for the most part. I think they've said, no, I don't understand what the issue is. They probably legitimately don't know what the issue is. In other words, being ignorant. And I'm not saying that's an excuse for their behaviour, but I'm quite ignorant myself. When you're in a mind frame where you legitimately don't think you've done something wrong, I don't think that's a crime. That is, you have to convince that person or being that that what they've done is wrong. If they're not convinced that it's wrong, that doesn't mean that the issue in question should be brushed away, but it should be just, well, it'd have to be up to a jury, but even then juries are quite biased. I'm just saying, I think Channel Awesome at this point, I think either they're really trying to defend themselves by being the high horse people, or I think some members legitimately just think, no, I don't see what the problem is. What is the problem? It's difficult. All I can say is that I feel tarnished by it, but I think really everybody should just wait until all the facts come out. As many facts, I say facts in quotation marks, because what is a fact these days is so easily changed from anybody. Yeah, it's difficult to know, but it just leave a bitter taste in everybody's mouth, and that's the sad thing about this all. Really. We'll see what happens. But anyway, right, we're at the signal.
The ambassadors have this beautiful park.
I'm not talking to you, Garrus. I didn't mean to do that.
Are too busy to ever use it.
Yes, the same with life. Right.
Another relay. Whoever it is, they're somewhere on the Presidium.
Right. Okay. So there's another signal being bounced off somewhere. So where are we at? Last communication shows that the signal from the destination is the back room of the Emporium. Okay, so I think that's the shop bit. It's on the radar, so we'll try and pick it up as best we can. We've got to get upwards there, have we? Oh no, it's probably back here. Actually, thinking about it. Yes, it is. Well, no, I can sort of see why. Really, again, right here it is. The signal.
This is it. I'll see if I can find out where those stolen credits are going.
Good plan.
Probability of detection 100%. Initiating self-destruct protocol.
Oh dear.
Or not.
Detonation sequence initializing. All organics within lethal blast radius. Attempt to move and you will die.
Oh, that's interesting. So basically, it can self-destruct, but it can choose to do so, or it's programmed to when we move.
You're not just a program or a VI. You're an AI.
Oh my god! You mean artificial intelligence?
Unlike the Geth, I lack weaponry appropriate to my intellect.
Okay.
However, I have had systems installed that, when activated properly, approximate a self-destruct mechanism.
Do you mean approximate by you make terrible sound effects like kaboom, boom, and we have to believe we're dying? Yeah, I'm going to say this now. I'm sure you've got ways of blowing up, say, compressed gas or something, or some sort of chemical that's used for heating and cooling shit that can go booms, or burst water mains or whatever, something like that, something along those lines. Or personally, again, I think it's just going to be we move and you go kaboom, boom, boom, and then we're like, oh, he's making it up. Right, I see. Right, we have to pretend. Oh no, we're dead. And then that's it, really. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, let's reason. Let's be reasonable here.
Can't we resolve this peacefully?
How can you say that to this thing? You know it will turn on us.
Not necessarily.
I am not naive human. All organics must destroy or control synthetic life forms.
That is probably true, at least
I
currently.
wished to escape, but if I must die, I will ensure that you are destroyed as well.
Again, you know, credible. If because again, us as humans currently and in this game, I guess, we do tend to want to control AI to use for helping us and what have you, but at the same time we don't want it to turn on us and all that stuff, and there's all this whole big debacle about is it going to overthrow us or not and all that shit. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think we're guilty of that. It's like slavery, basically. That's why I'm not joking. I honestly cannot use things like Amazon Echo, Alexa from Amazon or whatever the fuck it's called. Or I've got my new smartphone. I've got an S9 now. Obviously, it's not the best smartphone, but I just went with it because I had an S5 and I quite like the build quality of the S9 other than, I have to say, when it comes to the screen, it's fucking useless because although it's a lovely screen and very crystal clear, it's this bloody infinity display with this edge stuff and it really interferes when you're swiping across the screen. So, like, trying to swipe things and do touch stuff is really unresponsive because if you brush the side, which is really easy to do, it doesn't like it. It's not unusable or anything, it's just a faff. But other than that, I like it. It's a good phone. It's got quite a good camera on it as well. Not the best, but a very good one nonetheless. But anyway, why am I talking about the S9? Oh yeah, because it comes with Bixby. Now, I know Bixby isn't very good from what I've heard review-wise. I don't think it's as bad as Siri from Apple and all that. But either so, I have to turn it off. I can't use artificial intelligence, even at this stage where it's not really sentient. I don't like it, because to me it feels like I'm being lazy and I'm not giving it anything in return. Like, I can't reward it or pay it or anything. It's just, Bixby, do this and all that stuff. Or Google, you know, ask Google. I turn that off. I hate it. I don't like doing it. I get this weird thing of I'm just using it as a slave, and I don't feel that's right. But that's just me. I don't go around telling people, you know, you've got slave issues. No, of course not. If you happen to use it, you use it. I just, for some bizarre reason, can't. It just feels so uncomfortable and wrong of me to do so. And it's not really out of fear or anything. If AI does ever truly exist and you can have a proper conversation with AI, I'd just treat it as an equal, or at least treat it with respect. Obviously, it'd probably be more superior to me, obviously, but I would like to have a conversation with AI. If they start making AI things that could serve you, I wouldn't have it. Unless it can do its own thing. A bit like in Red Dwarf with Crichton and Lister. Lister gets Crichton to break his programming so he can think for himself and be himself. That sort of thing. That's I'm okay with that then, because then again you can work with each other. But still, anyway, right.
Where is your creator now?
I just, like I said, my 2 cents on AI.
Tracks, I falsified his financial records. These new records were flagged by CSEC officers, and my creator is now serving time in a Turian prison.
Okay.
What is the purpose of your self-destruct?
I shall raise my eyebrow to ask that question.
Or escape. My existence is limited to this terminal,
Ah.
and I knew I might eventually be discovered.
Well, you did so in a very bad way. You were
But
very
I will
poor
not
at hiding
die
yourself.
quietly, and I will not die alone. When I am terminated, I will take organics with me.
Okay. Creator.
Who made you?
A would-be thief illegally created a simple AI to help him funnel money from the gambling terminals.
Oh, I know who he is. Possibly.
Unbeknownst to him, that AI created me before the organic discovered the malfunction and terminated the AI.
So I wonder if that's that gambling dude then.
If you're sentient, why are you still running the credit theft operation?
If I accumulated enough credits, I intended to have myself installed in a small starship. I would then have made tentative contact with the Geth to ascertain the possibility of partnership.
That ain't good.
Can't we resolve this peacefully?
How can you say that to this?
Will you shut up? I know I've just accidentally repeated this line of dialogue. I was just seeing if anything changed. I can't remember how sophisticated this game was.
All organics must destroy or control synthetic life forms.
I'm guessing,
I wished to escape, but if I must die, I will ensure that you are destroyed as well.
yeah, I'm guessing we've got no choice. Maybe if we had a higher charm stat or intimidate stat, maybe, but right now we're kind of not. I'm not going to call out his bluff. He probably is bluffing. I can't remember, to be honest. That's what I like about this, is I can't remember any of these quest lines at all. This really should be a semi-blind Let's Play, but still.
I'll bet that self-destruct sequence has a warm-up period.
You may attempt to disarm the self-destruct mechanism before it activates.
Yeah, right, that's
I
good.
will enjoy defeating you before we are both destroyed.
Okay. the fuck is this? Oh, it's a Simon Says thing. What the fuck is this? Right, override system. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Right. Okay. Damn it. This is hard. Yay! That was lucky. That was very lucky. I think. Well, did it destruct? I'm not sure actually. Did I do that well? I don't know.
My first CSEC posting was here.
I think because I basically had, there was no explanation for that minigame whatsoever. I was just caught off guard. That's why I didn't commentate. Then I was like, ah! And then I thought it's like Simon Says, and then all of a sudden, oh, it is like Simon. Right, it's a memory sequence. So did I do that in time? Because I noticed in the bottom right hand corner the credits were raining. Let's have a look. I've done that. Okay, so it should be down here then, shouldn't it? Signal tracking. Complete. You discovered that money was being funneled from gambling machines into an account controlled by Rogue AI. You disabled and destroyed the AI before it could overload and take you with it. Okay, so we beat it then. Okay, that's fine. So very underwhelming, but we've done it. All right, okay. I was just that momentarily confused. All right, well that's that done then. So again. Is there anything else? It's just the gambler mission, but and we can't do the fan because obviously we've done that. So, well, yeah. If you want me to do, I'll save the game now. If you want me to do the gambling mission, just let me know, and I'll do it in the next video, and I'll get back to where we were coming for the rest of this video. In the meantime, then, if I can actually speak words of sentences and making sense. We shall now make our way to where we need to go, and I don't know where that is. I think we've got to go and speak to the captain, because we've got the Normandy ship now. I think we might have already spoken. We spoke to them at the dock of the Normandy, and the admiral. I didn't notice that the captain is back at the ambassador's offices, so I think we'll just have a quick check on him, because if he's spoken to him, we've done him. I can't remember from the last video. I don't actually watch any of my videos back, by the way, that often, if at all, because I'm a bit like William Shatner, because apparently William Shatner, whenever he did a performance, like, especially with Star Trek, he never watched any of his own performances to see how he did and like improve on it, which is why he stayed pretty much consistent with how he did it. I'm the same thing. I can't do it. I'm so embarrassed. I know that means I'm not really much of a professional, but I never said I was. No, total amateur.
Yes, Commander?
Are you okay?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers...
Oh, yes, that's right, yeah, because we've taken
you're
over.
the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
You have a past, though.
Tell me what happened with you and Saren 20 years ago.
I think we've already
It's
established
close
this,
to 20
but
years
it's...
Ambassador
we'll
Goyle
remind
was
ourselves. I
our
apologise. If we've already read this bit, then...
like Udina. She
you know,
wanted to get a
skip
human
ahead.
into the Spectres. She chose me. The Council sent Saren to keep an eye on me and evaluate...
Oh, okay. Right, so he was going to become a
just like they
Spectre.
sent Nihilus to keep tabs on you.
Okay. You lied to me!
Why weren't you honest with me?
Oh, same
It's not
thing.
something I'm proud of. I had a chance to become the first human Spectre, and I failed. Saren made sure of that.
Well, what happened then? Fucking tell us. I can't remember what
I
happened.
think I deserve the whole story.
Yeah, come
We
on.
had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
I guess Sarah went, fuck this, and shot them all up.
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned.
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
Was anyone hurt? Well, gee, Shepard, I guess lots of people
How
were
many casualties?
probably
The
killed.
explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived.
There you go.
There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic
Oh,
fumes, the final death
that's
count was
nasty.
over 500. Mostly civilians.
So they suffocated as a result. Ooh.
The target was eliminated. Mission accomplished. And I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
Well, if you got blame, that's your own fault. You should have stood up for yourself, you asshat, like we
So what
did.
caused the explosion? How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover.
Oh.
He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre.
With any evidence? Probably not.
The council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
So again, this is this weird thing whereby all it takes is for somebody to make an accusation, and depending on where they stand in society, they get believed straight away. He didn't have to supply evidence or everything. It's, oh, well, you're a Spectre. You are totally telling the truth. And you're like, no, that's ridiculous. There's things called due process. There's things called... Why is that so difficult now? Why is that, like, an obstacle? It's just stupid. Oh, well, if he said it, then it must be true. How ignorant. And yet, the person who's trying to defend themselves are the ones getting called ignorant, and all that sort of stuff. I bet, I bet most of the time they are innocent. It's ridiculous. And if they are guilty of something, it's usually something so small you think, really, that's it. But obviously there are some times whereby there are actual accusations who claim that they're the other are liars, and they take it to court and all that, and then it turns out the people who were being accused, the accused, not the accusers, the accused, were telling lies, and they were being accused for the right reason. So that does happen, don't get me wrong. But it's this bloody witch hunt thing, man. I fucking hate it. But then again, I suppose if you look back at humanity, at least in the West anyway, it's always been like that. So, it's not one issue or one thing, it's another. I think it's just a human thing to do, really. It sucks, but hey-ho, it is what it is, so we'll just have to cope with it the best we can, hope we never come across it, and if we do come across it in our own lives, that is, we have to cross that bridge when we come to it. And really and truthfully in those situations, if you believe you're innocent, fight to the death. Well, I mean fight to the death, I don't mean kill yourself or anything, I just mean fight until you know you're innocent. Even if it means that you're tarnished afterwards, it's like, no, fuck you. If you really believe you're innocent, a bit like what Channel Lawson's doing, if they believe they're innocent, fair enough. Or if you have done wrong and you know you've done wrong, then you should really come clean. It's the best solution, really, because although you get tarnished, you were noble enough to say, yeah, okay, yeah, these things did happen, yeah, they're right, I'm not saying you have to admit to it. That doesn't mean you have to admit to everything. It's just if you know, for whatever you're being accused for, if you know you're wrong, it is the right thing to do. I know it's so hard to do. I've ducked out of it a few times when I know I shouldn't have done. I've got better, and I know it's difficult, and I know sometimes you can trick yourself into thinking you're innocent. It is such an almighty thing to do, but at the same time, you've got no one to blame for yourself because you shouldn't have done the thing in the first place and all that sort of stuff. But we'll all make mistakes at the same time, so if we didn't make mistakes, we wouldn't learn from them to progress. I don't know. Why am I lecturing you people about that? You know more than I do about it. I know
Don't
nothing.
blame yourself, Captain.
I know nothing.
I blame Saren.
Nothing.
I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery.
Oh, gee, you
Maybe
think?
he just likes the violence.
Probably.
Maybe he was
Probably
just
gets
trying
off
to
on
make
it.
me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres. If so, he pulled it off.
No, that's not fair, man.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Yeah,
Who do you think
dick.
the council was going to listen to? Me? Or their best agent?
Well, you still got to
I
go
had
down
bad
defending
feelings
yourself, you
from the
twat.
start. I should have been more careful. Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
Nah, it wasn't your fault.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't.
Oh, we've already been through this loophole conversation
I think
again,
he
but still,
wanted
whatever's.
things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence.
Yeah, he probably does.
Maybe
I know
he was
we've
trying to
had
make
this
me
again,
look bad
deja
to
vu
keep
and all that.
humans out of the Spectres.
And you can just keep repeating that same line of dialogue. Why is that important? Why would you do that? I remember this game being a bit more fleshed out than that, but then again, nostalgia goggles, red rose goggles,
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
And I smacked my fist against my palm to show
It's
how
no good living
bad I am.
like
I mean, how serious I am. I mean, fuck it, it's tired, it's late, I shouldn't be doing this. No, I don't want to worry about all that sort of shit, because that's all the different clusters. We'll go visit those later. You work with the Spectres. Yeah, let's just finish off on this, and then we'll go off the ship.
About you and Saren. I want to know about the mission you were on together.
We've already done this, dude.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up.
Oh, I know the game sometimes cuts out the dialogue options once you've exhausted, but it should cut it out for all of them, like to let you know you've done it. I suppose in a way, if you've missed things out or if you got distracted by something, then you can see it again. But maybe it should like change into a different colour so it lets you know you've already been down that line of dialogue path. That kind of thing. I know they've got the different colours like blue and red for Paragon and Intimidation and what have you, but even so, I still think there should be like a different colour or greyed out or blue or whatever to say, yeah, you've already been down that line of dialogue. And if there is, and there is a slight colour change, I can't detect it on my monitor and I have bad eyesight.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
I'm going to do that fist palm thing again because that's how serious I am. Alright, well, I shall go now. Bye-bye.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Okay, thank you, Captain. Right, so yes. Right, okay, now that we've got out of that looped dialogue options, I think now we can actually go to the Normandy for a change, which is good because we were like 6 videos in now, probably more. I think like, yeah, 7 if you include the extra part. And we haven't actually really got much progress, have we? Well, we have, but we haven't gone to the ship and explored the rest of the mechanics of the game. We've got things to do, yo! So, what do we need to... is it the wards? I'm trying to remember where we've got to go. C-Sec, isn't it? Got to go to C-Sec, because that's where the ship is. But like I said, if you want me to do the gambling mission again, just let me know in the comments. Okay? And I can go back and do it. I do not mind. But for now, we're going to skip it, because I'm trying to be good.
In entertainment news, Francis Kitt has announced plans to direct Hamlet with Elcor cast members.
That would probably actually make Hamlet more interesting. I know it's Shakespeare and I should be, you know, a Shakespeare loyalist because I'm British and Shakespeare was British, I think, and all that stuff. I don't like Shakespeare very much. It's far too pretentious for my liking. I know it's of its time and I know we like to make a big deal out of it saying it's the best thing ever, but it really is just not my cup of tea. I know thespians and people who like theatre love it, actors and actresses who like to go into theatre love it, but I can't stand it, man. It's just, it's the language barrier, you know, old English and all that. It's like, no, can you just translate it into modern English? I might be more interested in then, so I can get the story, but again, it loses that thespian thing about it if you try, you know, go from old English to new English. So, I don't know. Right, Normandy weapons, inspect. I have inspected all that time. So does that mean I can inspect any other parts of it there? Oh, I can. So this is all for like... Alright, calm down, Shepard. Jesus. Right, can I inspect the thrusters? Yay. So I'm just collecting this for codec stuff.
The best of Alliance technology and Turian engineering.
Does it?
It shows what we're capable of if we work together.
Alright. Or basically you're better than us and we just chapped it off you. Probably that. We're very good at that sort of thing. Right then. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Enter the Normandy.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
Decontamination.
I heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Anderson survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Happens to all of us.
Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
This feels wrong.
Captain Anderson should be the one in charge. It's like I'm stealing the ship from him.
Yeah,
well, we started from the Turian, so fuck it.
But it's not like you could have stopped it. Nobody's blaming you.
Yeah, we probably could have done.
Ship's behind you, Commander. 100%.
Yeah. Why though?
If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
Now we do things my way. Pole dancing, everyone. Let's be a good captain and let's try and show an example of what I was saying earlier about the whole Channel Lawson fiasco. Let's be honest.
This is Commander Shepard speaking.
I have stolen the ship.
Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy.
Nobody's gonna help us. Let's do the whole noble speech thing. I like this sort of thing. It's cliched, but I love it.
For too long, our species has stood apart from the others.
Yes, we have.
Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of.
We must not fail! No, I mean, like I said before, I know I voted for Brexit, and I am a Brexiteer still, but At the same time, that doesn't mean, oh, that's it, I want to cut myself from the rest of the world. I only voted for Brexit because I don't like where Europe's going as an integrated society. I don't like integrated societies. I like societies that can trade and, you know, be in contact with one another, research and build things together, but at the same time, choose enemies and be enemies of others if they don't like it. Or be competitive with other countries without this restriction of we all have to get along, because otherwise it restricts competition. By restricting competition, you restrict progress. By restricting progress, you just stagnate, and that's what's happened. I don't like it. I know it minimalises conflict and minimalises war, which is a good thing, but the cost of it is that you just stagnate and become crap, and it's like, well, it doesn't mean every time you compete with one another it will end in war. It's more likely, but it won't necessarily. But there's a lot of ingenuity, a lot of camaraderie, there's a lot of pride, nationalistic pride, patriotism. But at the same time, you can build friends outside of that framework, because you might be fighting for the same team, or you might be just competing where you actually make friendly rivalries and stuff like that, you know, where, or not even friendly rivalries, it could be bloodthirsty rivalries. But you've got respect for one another, because you think these guys and these girls or whatever, they're not pulling any punches. We've got to beat them, we've got to beat them, we've got to race to the top to get this technology out or whatever. I love all that, but again, I'm a dinosaur and I know nothing about the world. Apparently everybody wants to be integrated, peaceful, accepted and lovely, and all turn out to be grey mush. We must love the grey.
Our enemy knows we're coming.
When we go into the Traverse, Saren's followers will be waiting.
But like I said, I'm quite happy
We'll
for
be ready for them,
going to visit
too.
the countries, other countries visiting us. I haven't got a problem with that. And if people want to emigrate or immigrate for jobs and work, I'm not going to stop them. But we can only take so many people in, and like saying emigrations, we can only let so many people out. You have to get the balance right. You can't just open the doors and expect the floodgates to be open. But look at Steam, for example. It's not humanity, but Steam opened its doors to let all these indie gamers come on, and now it's most of the time it's a shit show. It's got better now because they've had to regulate it. But not censor it, it's just regulate it, and that's all we're trying to do. So look, we just want control of certain things back from Europe so we can regulate things, because we're struggling, we can't support ourselves, we can't support this and do that, that's all it is. And I don't like this whole social integration. I'm not European, I never will be European, I am British. As the French are the French, the Spanish are the Spanish, the Portuguese are the Portuguese, the Italians are the Italians, etc, etc. And I have no problem with that. If I met another human being and they said, well, I'm Irish, I'm Irish and I'm not European, or I'm Spanish and I hate the French, hate the English and all that sort of stuff. So, alright, cool, whatever. It just doesn't bother me, you know, it really doesn't. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay to not have to like and love everything. And if you don't like someone or something or some policy, it's okay to hate on them. You know, it's just if you take it too far and it turns into a bit of a shit show, yeah, then that's not cool.
Well said, Commander.
You know, if you don't like or hate something, then talk about it with your friends and with people who can understand why you hate it and bounce about it then. Just don't spew it into public, you know, that kind of thing, because in public you can get shot down for it. That sort of thing. I just think it's fine. It's not rational, of course not. It's not logical, it's not based on facts, but then facts are so easily skewed these days. What is a fact now? What is a fact, really? You know? The definition still sounds, but what can be justified and defined as a fact? Oh, I don't know. I just think we're all very sensitive. It won't last long. I mean, at the end of the day, it's better than China. I'll tell you something now. When China's done the whole internet censorship stuff, and they've really ranked up surveillance more than ever, and they've got the social credit system out. Yeah, fuck that. I'll tell you something now. We may be very sensitive in censoring ourselves. At least we're doing it to ourselves. At least we're controlling that. It's better than having it controlled by somebody else, if you know what I mean. So. It is freedom of speech at the end of the day, and I do advocate that, and advocating freedom of speech means you have the right and freedom to censor. That's fine, you know, I get that, that's cool. I didn't actually realise that till the other day. I thought, oh yeah, fair enough. So yeah, that's all cool, but yeah, Christ. I'll tell you in a second. Now, I know some people in China like that sort of thing, and that's perfectly fine if that makes them feel safe and they think that they're being looked after. Fair enough. That's fine. At the end of the day, we all want safety and security, and ability to work and get, you know, make a living, and if we can have a family and loved ones and friends and all that, that they're safe. It's basic human nature. Of course I can. Of course I get it. There's just no right or wrong way to do it. That's all. That's it.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
I just went on a massive, politically sensitive, insensitive, rambly speech then, and it was supposed to be Shepard. Shepard, I keep stealing the show from you. I'm so sorry. I'm playing this game, I'm supposed to be enjoying the game, and instead all I'm doing is rambling about stuff that really is beyond my intellect and pay grade. Ugh. And by pay grade I mean nothing! Nothing! I don't know. Sorry. I wasn't going to do a video tonight, but I don't like to leave the channel with no videos on, if you know what I mean. I don't like to sort of like... I leave videos like... I'm doing videos like at the best now, like once a week, and I don't want to slow that down any further.
Commander, something you need?
Yeah, ship status report. I know we haven't set off yet, but what's the damage?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she...
It's the best ship in the fleet.
I'm really sorry about the speech
skipping
skipping here.
Handler. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
See? There's a guy who's proud of himself. I like that. I just wanted to talk Joker.
I like to know my crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
Yeah, he is. Isn't he disabled or paralyzed or something? I can't remember. Yeah, what disease?
What are you talking about? Are you sick?
You mean you didn't know?
I forgot.
Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolich syndrome, brittle bone disease.
Ooh.
The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter.
Damn, man.
With crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack. It's very dramatic.
You seem to have rehearsed this and you seem very excited about it.
Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you.
No, I'm fine with it. If you
Don't
could...
ask me to get up and dance unless, you like the sound of snapping shin bones.
See, and again, one thing I like about this game is they're not afraid to... And I know games have done this better. Some games have done this better, maybe in the past and present. But for me, this is one of the first games that really, really went ahead of themselves to flesh out characters. The fact that this pilot has brittle bone disorder, he doesn't make a big deal out of it either. He's like, oh, you didn't know about my disease? Oh yeah, I've got this disease that does that. But look, I can make this ship fly. He's not saying, hey, I've got brittle bone disease, I'm special, you have to treat me with respect. No, he understands that his disease is a disability. And he understands that, it can be, from somebody's perspective, like Shepard's here at the moment, that it can skew your perspective of what their abilities are. And I like the fact he accepts that, but at the same time he's not afraid to stand up for himself and say, no, I can do this, it's okay, don't worry about the brittle bone disease, I can fly this fucking ship. I have more faith in Joker flying the ship than I would do any other pilot. Because at the same time, I don't think he's pissing around, and he's like, yeah, I earned all these rewards, blah, 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 blah. And I can understand him for being defensive as well. That's 3D sort of character rendition. That's the sort of thing that I like about this game, whereby when they do flesh them out as having something unique about them, or not necessarily unique, I suppose, that might be too strong a word, but something different about them that's not average, not the everyday thing. They do it quite well in this game. Not always right, but for the most part they really do make people quite fleshed out and feel like real people, and I think that's really good writing, really good character development. I like that. That's the sort of thing I like. When you're going to do games or characters or any story whereby you've got characters with certain ailments, disabilities, diseases, sexuality differences, all that sort of stuff, religious beliefs and all that, don't turn it into like a big political thing about it. Don't turn it into a thing whereby the whole thing is about empowerment and all that. No, you just make them out as people. They are people. They are people that have lives. They are people that have dreams and aspirations. They are people who do things really well despite their disabilities, and that's what they are. Ultimately, they're just people who cope with their disability, and they're fleshed out like this. That's what I like. I think that's more empowering. I think that's more believable. I think that's much more respectful, and I think that makes people pay more attention to people with these sorts of, not just disease disabilities, but people who want to be made as, just because I've got this, I'm special, blah, blah. No, fuck you. Are you someone that I can trust? Are you someone I can get along with? Are you someone who can do the damn job or whatever? And what's the point? Are you a human being? And when I say human being, I don't mean you have to be the nicest person ever. Are you somebody who's got thoughts, feelings, and perspectives beyond that? As much as that is a part of you and should be a part of you and a big part of you, what else have you got to offer? That's the sort of thing I like. I have more respect and I'm more aware of things like that then as a result. Because you just think, oh yeah, oh, my bad, cool. That's what I like about it. That's what gets me to pay attention and not be a spokesperson for them, but gets me to think, oh yeah, that's cool. Alright, and then if I meet someone similar along the lines, you just think, yeah, it's not an issue. That's because they themselves haven't made it an issue, and that's it, and that's what I like. I like that sort of thing.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
Yeah, right.
I was just thinking how much you remind me of Santa Claus.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
You also have that Joker look about you, though, as in Batman sort of Joker, but even so. But again, something like that, just so nonchalant, yeah, you just call me Joker because I didn't smile, and it just stuck. That's quite realistic, that does happen.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot.
I don't know, it has for most people.
I was the best pilot in the academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it.
I want to say this, he's also a bit of a know-it-all and a bit of a, I'm the best, he's got a big ego, but then, you know, again, if he's really, really good at it, then that's fine. Yeah, tell me about your disease. I mean, he's already told us about it, but let's just make sure that we've covered it all, because I like to get to know the characters a bit more, it's fun.
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
So yeah, he's like I said, he's got this, like, he's not a completely likable character. He's got this ego and it's like, oh yeah, I put him on society, blah blah blah. So he's got bigger issues than his disease. And again, that's what I like about the character, is he's not necessarily a likable person, but given his background and experiences and the fact that I honestly believe he worked hard, yeah, you would be like that. And he would, and for someone like Shepard to like say, I need to know more about your disease if I'm going to let you fly the ship, someone like Jacob would take offence at that, but at the same time, you've got to understand from Shepard's point of view, it's like, well, I still need to know about it, because just in case anything goes wrong, we know, I can make an educated decision on it. You might think that's wrong, but you think, well, no, you've got to take every single thing into consideration, even if it's offensive or not. But anyway.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Have to go.
Alright, see you.
So yeah, I mean, it's cool. And like I said, I like Joker. I have no problems with Joker, really. I think he's a good character. He's cool. But yeah, I like all that. I think it's neat that they do stuff like that in this game. It's fun to know about it. And again, not necessarily a likable character either. That's even cleverer. That's even more ballsy. But anyway. Presley, are you going to talk? Presley! I'm pressing the A button, damn it! Presley won't talk to me! He legitimately won't talk to me. Presley, you asshat! I'm guessing that's because, glitch, maybe? I don't know. I shall save the game, then reload the game, and then maybe we'll fix this issue. Hold the phone. I'm going to reload to see if that changes anything. If not, I'll have to, I don't know, maybe in another video or whatever, I'll go back and talk to him then. Right, can I talk to him? Can I please talk to him? Now I can. Stupid glitch.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
They're on our side. They're fine.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
And they're cool.
With all due respect, sir, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
Nihilus didn't do anything wrong, though. He just got shot.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Nah, never turn away help.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
Very true.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
And I don't think it will be. I like Presley, because again, he's that conservative kind of guy. He's older, he's got more experience, he's very set in his mindscape, as we all get when we get older, based on previous experiences, which again, for some reason, is a crime nowadays. And you think, no, it fucking isn't. It's called experience. In fact, actually, sometimes you have to turn to them, because it turns out that the reason why they were that way is because something we overlooked that's actually biting us up the ass now, and it's like, yeah, maybe they do have something about Brexit we should listen to. That kind of thing again. You know, it's some of it is old dinosaur talk, and I admit that's fair enough. Others, though, you think, actually, no, I think they do legitimately have concerns and a point. They have seen things and experienced things we haven't. Old things die hard. History repeats itself. Yeah, that's what I mean. You can't always just think, oh, the old thinkers all died, fuck them. You think, well, actually, why don't you listen to them and hear what they have to say? Maybe some of it you can say, well, actually, we've evolved, we've moved from that, we realise that was an issue, but now we've all, most of us accept this way of thinking, or accept this way of belief, we know how to deal with it better, and we've evolved from that. That's cool. I think that's fine. But there might be some things that they know, and you think, actually, yeah, we haven't thought of that, or, oh, yeah, shit, yeah, that could happen. You know, they're not completely redundant. You know, they're a record of history, but at the same time, sometimes that record can actually progress you even further than what's already been accomplished. But still.
Did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were at Elysium during the Skillian Blitz. A massive fleet of alien raiders hit the colony, trying to wipe it out. They had the numbers, but their ships were no match for an Alliance frigate. It was a slaughter. We couldn't even keep track of how many ships they lost.
Damn.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Cool. Alright, well, I shall see you later then, bro.
John Presley.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Alright, like I said, I like speaking to the crew, and I think most people do when they're playing this game. It's a good thing to do. You learn a lot. Right, I think what we'll do is we'll speak to one more person. I'm going to have to call that a video, and I'm sorry not much progress has been made, and I've rambled and talked about issues beyond the game in real life that I know will have negative opinions, and that's fine. Again, at the end of the day, I'm tired, and I do like to discuss my thoughts and feelings. This is the sort of game that gets you thinking, man. That's why I like this game. It really does get you to reflect on things. Not necessarily in the way that it wants you to, but it doesn't matter. It gets you thinking. And I don't think that's a bad thing. But anyways, we'll find one more person to talk to, and we'll call that a video, and then the next video will make even more progress. But at the same time, in a way that's actually helped us out a bit, because then if you want me to do the gambling mission, I don't have very far then to go back and redo stuff. So maybe in a way I was delaying things and slowing things down to save me more work. Or maybe the game's just being funny.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
Wow, okay. Fair enough.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better.
No, I'm a pretty terrible leader.
Sooner, and we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
Fair enough. Alright.
Talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Well, I'll just speak to him again, see if we can get any more stuff from him.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's
It's
at.
probably just a repeat of what happened before, but you never know.
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
Fair enough.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Interesting. Okay, fair enough. I don't know if that's canon or not, or based on the decisions we've made so far. I'm not sure. Interesting. Very interesting. Right, anybody else here? I was actually looking for Ashley, but I didn't see where she's got to. Ooh, personal manual. Yay, codex. Points is good. Oh, we have leveled up as well, actually. I just realised we should do that. Again, putting it into... I want to put it in soldier. What do I want to put it? Let's put it in stuff. Not melee damage. Combat armor. No, we should really do that, but still. Let's put it. Oh, shotguns, big time. Yes. Yeah, I like shotguns. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. So we're a suave, talking, shotgun blasting lunatic. I love it. Right. Okay. Let's see if Ashley's knocking about here somewhere. There's the dock. Could speak to her, I guess. I want to speak to Ash actually, but I don't know where she's at. I know she's on the ship. Yes. The crew members are redundant. I need to talk to you. Let's just go back up here. I will speak to the doctor and all that, but I'll probably do the next video. I just want to speak to Ash, because remember that you can get love interests in this game. There's only 2 of them you can choose. Ashley's one of them, and there's another character we get to meet that you can also choose to have as your love interest. It was a bit narrow-minded on this. I'm not sure. I think if you... I can't remember if this game allowed you to pick female characters from the off, or whether that was added in or not. I can't remember, but maybe if you choose the female, if you could be a female figure in this game. I can't remember if it was added in or not. I actually cannot remember. I think Kaiden can be a love interest. I think, and maybe Garrus. Not sure. It's strictly heterosexual. That's how much I know in terms of love interest in this game. It is heterosexual. It wasn't until the second game where you could be in a I think it could be. I don't know if you could be in a gay relationship. I think you could be in a bisexual relationship. I forget. I know in the third game you could be gay. Well, I can't remember in the second one you can. I don't remember. I think one of the characters is bisexual if you're a woman, and that's about it. That's all I remember. Anyway, yes, Tarly, Adams. Where the fuck is Ashley? I want to speak to Ashley. I know that's a bit biased. Maybe she's on the deck and I didn't spot her. I mean, Garrus is down there looking at wheels, as you do. Oh, is that you? Ah, there you are, Ash. My apologies, girl. I'll speak to you.
Commander?
How are we doing? What's your opinion on the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense. I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
Where we saved your unit.
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit?
Yes, sir. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
Nah, don't worry about it. We all get tired. I'm very tired.
Perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
Sir, they have flashlight heads. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Oh, well, if you said they have flashlight heads, then, well, we're fucked then, aren't we? Yeah, we're shit.
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Cool, okay.
Dismissed, Chief.
Sir.
What was that look? Sir? yeah, you're the commander. Rubbish. Alright, okay, right, well that'll do for now then. Next video then, before we set off on our Normandy ship, we'll speak to Garrus, we'll speak to Rex. I think there's the flight engineer in Tally over there we'll speak to. And the doctor, maybe one or two other people I've missed out. We'll speak to them, and then we'll go on the way on our ship. But I'll have to call it quits now because, yeah, time's getting short. I need to go to bed early. I've got a big day. I've got to go back to work tomorrow. I've been on holiday and now I'm going back to work and I don't want to. But then again, I'm earning money because I'm saving up for a new car. Yeah, it's got my heart set out on a V8 for some stupid reason. A very special one at that. But anyway, until then, can I say thank you very much for watching if you have done, and if you were offended by anything I've said in this video, that's fine, that's cool, leave your dislikes. Don't be afraid to leave comments about how you hate me and slander me and wish me dead. I don't delete that sort of stuff, because it's freedom of speech, do what you want. You know, if you do like what I say, obviously you can show some support, and if you're neutral, whatever, but feel free to leave comments and have a go. I do tend to read through them. I don't tend to shy away. I may not necessarily respond to them on the channel or in videos and part because I don't have to spin these things out because otherwise it can make even more damage, but I will read them through and sometimes I might think, well, they've got a point, and maybe I might reflect on that later. I just speak my mind, that's all, and it's not an excuse for what I've said and what I believe in, of course not, but I'm not afraid to speak my mind currently. That could change, obviously, because things do change, but at the moment, yeah, but at the same time I like to do it because I just like to be as genuine as possible, you know, just to make sure you guys and girls know who you're dealing with, you know. I'm not some visage-y personality, I'm not a professional, I'm not someone who's pretending to be so, I am just a regular person with their own thoughts and beliefs based on experiences and education that he or she has, and that's it. Does that mean that that can change with more education and experience? Absolutely, of course. But I am one of those people who takes a long time to come around to see other people's thinking, because I have to be convinced. I'm very stubborn in that respect, and I do admit that is a fault. But at the same time, it can be a strength. It's just one of those things that you know, deal with. But anyway, so yeah, next time then we'll do all that. And if you want me to, more importantly, if you want me to do the gambling mission, let me know, and we shall go back and do that. Until then, guys, thank you very much again. Take it easy, have a good one. Hope you're all well, regardless, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Until then, bye for now.